Hey everyone, today on People Now, the death toll continues to rise after a massive explosion in Lebanon. We have the latest details.
Ashton Kutcher, Jay Leno, and more celebs speak out in support of Ellen DeGeneres amid her show's controversy.
If you thought Jason Momoa was a stud before, wait until you hear the incredible gift he got for his wife, Lisa Bonet.
It was after being on a rocket ship, just going straight up. It was just a small chain.
Katy Perry opens up about new music, her emotional roller coaster pregnancy, and her fresh chapter in life after depression. It's all in this week's People Cover story.
Plus, Elmo.
Elmo was working on his show, and Cookie Monster walked by and he said, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Hello?
Elmo spills all the tea on how Cookie Monster convinced him to be on Elmo's brand new show.
Yes, all that and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. Hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. I'm Andrea Boehlke. How's it going, Jeremy?
It's going well. It's good to see you and good to see all of you as well. Yesterday, I'm sure that you saw, just like I did, my feed was full of all these videos of that horrific explosion that happened in Lebanon. That's where we begin today. Here's what you need to know and what's trending. Celebrities are voicing their support for Lebanon after a massive explosion rocked the country's capital city of Beirut. According to CNBC reporting, which cites emergency services, at least 100 people have been killed and more than 4,000 were injured.
Model Naomi Campbell posted a photo from a fashion shoot that she did in Beirut and captioned it, quote, "My thoughts and love go out to the people of Lebanon and their families."
Actress Salma Hayek shared a video of the explosion on her Instagram. In her caption, she wrote, "Today, 2 explosions devastated the capital of the already hurting Lebanon. My broken heart goes out to all the people who have lost loved ones and who are in the affected areas of my beloved Beirut."
Ariana Grande posted a message on her Instagram story and directed her fans to a nonprofit organization called Impact Lebanon, which takes donations to aid disaster relief. She then wrote, "My heart, my love, my condolences are with Lebanon and everyone affected by the tragedy."
Heidi Klum and Kylie Jenner also spoke out about the explosion, Klum sharing a photo of the word Beirut written in white text on a black background, while Jenner shared a photo on her Instagram story writing, "Wow, prayers for Lebanon."
Footage of the terrifying explosion at a warehouse that, according to Lebanon's General Security Service, contained highly explosive materials went viral on social media on Tuesday, with many videos showing a plume of smoke spewing from a building near Beirut's waterfront.
All right, more celebrities are coming to the defense of Ellen DeGeneres amid the controversy surrounding her show. Ashton Kutcher tweeted about how Ellen had always treated him and his team with respect and kindness. He added in part, "When things aren't right, she handles it and fixes."
Alec and Hilaria Baldwin echoed that sentiment about Ellen's kindness on their joint Twitter account. And Diane Keaton posted on Instagram how she's always enjoyed her visits to Ellen's show. She captioned a picture of her and Ellen in part, "I've seen how the audience exudes happiness and gratitude." Keaton added that Ellen gives back to many, including to her.
Jay Leno also tweeted his full support for Ellen, saying that he doesn't discard a 40-year friendship on hearsay. He added, quote, "The Ellen I know has raised over $125 million for charity and has always been a kind and decent person."
And Jerry O'Connell is also backing Ellen. He shared the same "I Stand By Ellen" graphic on Instagram that DeGeneres' wife, Portia de Rossi, shared. O'Connell told Entertainment Tonight that he felt compelled to repost it because he has known the couple for almost 3 decades.
And in this week's issue of People, we're talking with Hollywood insiders and sources close to Ellen about the controversy surrounding the Ellen DeGeneres show. A source close to the comedian tells People that DeGeneres was, quote, "crushed" when she first heard of allegations of a toxic work environment on her show. That source adds that DeGeneres is determined to fix things and says that she's personally going to be invested in making sure those things are properly changed. Executive producers of DeGeneres' show have taken full responsibility for the show's operations, but Ellen apologized to her staff in a memo after a BuzzFeed news report uncovered claims of sexual harassment and misconduct. Warner Brothers Television has launched an investigation and announced initial findings indicated some deficiencies in day-to-day management. An insider reveals that it's a tense environment at the show while the investigation is going on and that people are very upset. That insider adds that employees all seem on eggshells. The insider also says that there's no way DeGeneres is going to let her show go out like this. There's been speculation that the show could be canceled, but a source tells People that the rumors are false and that the staff is preparing for the show's September return. A Hollywood insider does think that DeGeneres can recover from the controversy, but she has to own up to the problems. And industry experts agree, saying a lot of it depends on what changes are made at the show and if A-list celebrities return. Another source close to Ellen says she wants to just put out a great show that makes people happy and feel good. That source adds that DeGeneres is very focused on that. All right, switching gears here now, and no pun intended. Get ready. Jason Momoa surprised his wife, Lisa Bonet, with a restored version of her very first car. I love this. It's really cool. The actor shared a YouTube video on Tuesday. It showed the nostalgic restoration of a 1965 Mustang. In that video, Momoa says this: "I know we can't relive a memory, but maybe we can rebuild one." He took the beat-up white Mustang to Divine One Customs in Las Vegas, telling the crew this is the first car she ever bought. It's one of 3 ever made, and it has a lot of custom parts to it.
The video then showcases the car being transformed by these masterminds. They take it apart piece by piece before putting it back together in mint condition, with some minor changes, of course. They painted the car a shiny black and tricked it out with a sleek black leather interior. Even Momoa was impressed with the final product. Watch this.
This was my wife's first car. When I met Misha at Divine One Customs and Chemo introduced me, I never thought that it would look like this. To be in this passenger seat with my wife here and surprise her and our babies in the back. Riding in her first car when she was 17. I'm excited to see her face. It's come a long way. A long way.
I mean, I can't get over how nice of a gift this is. It's so thoughtful, it's really cool. And also he just cares about his wife so much and wants her to feel the love. Jeremy, have you ever done something this great for your wife?
Not restoring a car. I mean, I've done other things, but I feel like it takes a lot of explanation and it's not worth it. But I have done things. I'm very sweet. Of course, we didn't have to wait long to see Lisa Bonet's reaction to her new car. She had nothing but positive things to say about her surprise. She called the car beautiful, gorgeous, pristine, not too flashy, but just enough. That's what she said. To top off the special surprise, we even get to see Momoa go for a spin with his wife in the passenger seat of her newly refurbished wheels. Momoa, who married Bonet in 2017, shares 2 children with her, said that the project was a big dream come true. Good for them.
Kourtney Kardashian is gonna need a minute to recover from her son Reigns' new haircut. Kourtney posted this photo to Instagram of her 5-year-old with a freshly shaved head. She wrote the caption, "I am not okay." When it rains, it pours. Right, Jeremy?
That's right. Kourtney also posted this photo of the chopped off locks on her Instagram story. Reigns' long hair definitely must have taken a while to grow, so we understand the sentimentality of it all. Now, back in April, Kourtney defended herself after being criticized for not cutting her son's hair, which ran past his shoulders at the time. In response to one follower who questioned her decision to let it grow, Kourtney said that her son has the, quote, most gorgeous hair on earth.
Her 3 kids, who she shares with her ex, Scott Disick, are no stranger to long locks. Their 10-year-old son, Mason, rocked longer hair when he was younger as well, while their 8-year-old daughter, Penelope, received her first trim February of last year. I would imagine it'd be pretty fun to give your kids haircuts.
I've loved it. Like during this whole quarantine situation, I gave my oldest daughter like an undercut. She wanted it. Like I lifted her hair up and like cut like a little design back here. And the younger one, we cut her hair up really short. And that was a big moment. It was sentimental because it was the first kind of thing, but also it's like, whoa, this is going to last a while, but super cute. We love it. All right, guys, Katy Perry has found her resilience. In this week's People cover story, the singer is opening up about surviving depression and starting a joyful new chapter in her life. And although the journey to her newfound happiness was tough, she says she now feels well-equipped to handle curveballs, including the ups and downs of 2020. She tells us that being pregnant in a pandemic is an emotional roller coaster.
Right now, the pop superstar would have been basking in newlywed life with Orlando Bloom, promoting her upcoming 6th studio album, Smile, and preparing for the birth of her first child. But instead, due to the coronavirus, Perry was forced to cancel her planned destination wedding and push the release of the record.
But luckily, Perry has support. She says, quote, having a great partner, having a sound mind, and continuing to do the work, I'm not as flinchable. She also adds that her upcoming album, Smile, has helped her as well. As Perry gears up for the release of Smile, which she says is full of hopefulness, full of resilience, full of joy and love, she's reflecting on how far she's come since 2017, when her album Witness failed to make the same impact as her previous projects. Watch this.
For me, it was after being on a rocket ship, just going straight up. It was just a small change in the trajectory, and it was like it felt seismic, it felt, you know, it was a shift, but it was a good shift. It was a necessary shift. to get me out of this kind of like desperate pop stardom like loop of, you know, being the best pop star ever. I just really want to be a human being and have the dimension of life and love living in the large and love living in the small. Like when I have interviews right now, you know, in the pandemic, they will like do this big opening and I'm like, no, what I just want to like, oh, like what about I can make a delicious dinner? Like I want to be able to achieve, those are my goals, you know?
Perry says the lowest moments in her life felt like a nightmare, but as she began taking baby steps and adopting tools to cope, she began to feel relief. She adds this, now I get to live life and I get to bring life into the world. She says, finding the gratitude in this pain has been a real journey, but the outcome is worth it.
All right, guys, stay with us. We'll have more on Katy Perry and her journey to resilience later on in today's show. Plus, Serena Williams is opening up exclusively in this week's issue about her silent but painful health struggle. We'll tell you more. And we'll be joined by the one, the only, Elmo. The season finale of his HBO Max talk show airs this week. He's telling Andrea all about it. Stick around. In this week's issue of People, actress and activist Viola Davis is opening up about surviving poverty and how she's now working with No Kid Hungry to bring awareness to the effects of the pandemic on struggling families. No Kid Hungry's latest report shows almost half of American families are living with hunger. For Viola, growing up with hunger was her, quote, biggest source of shame as a child. So she knows that this was an issue in our country even before the pandemic. But now she tells us the stakes are much higher, adding this staggering statistic. Food banks that were designated to serve maybe 200 families are now serving 600. The Oscar winner is determined to help, and she wants your help too. She says the big thing here is to vote, explaining that programs designed to help food-poor families are being challenged, like WIC vouchers and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, both of which she calls the healing elixir for those families in need. During this challenging time, Viola is also teaching her 10-year-old daughter, Genesis, to embrace her own voice and feel more empowered in the process. Viola tells us, quote, I encourage her to use any source of expression, whether it's TikTok, painting, taking pictures. I don't want her to grow up with any shame. And as for Viola herself, she's staying grounded these days by meditating with the Calm app every night, and she's enjoying her lavender essential oil bath. Sounds really nice. Some good tips there.
All right, we have some more from Katy Perry here. Katy isn't going to just be any regular mom. She's going to be a cool mom. In this week's People Cover story, the pop superstar opens up about her approach to parenthood. Take a listen.
He's gonna be the good cop and I'm gonna be the bad cop. I already know it. And you know, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Maybe it'll turn for teenage years and I'll get the teenage years. That's kind of the year. I'll be like cool mom, you know? Like in Mean Girls. Be like, hey.
Bloom and Perry are expecting their baby girl any day now, and the singer is so excited, but her journey to motherhood hasn't been easy. She says, quote, I was really terrified of the idea of that 2 or 3 years ago. It was just like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna do that. I can barely take care of myself.
But with Bloom by her side, she says she's sure they'll be fine. In the issue, Perry also opens up about overcoming the ups and downs with Bloom. After a year-long romance, the couple had paused on their relationship in 2017. Perry tells us that the breakup was necessary for them to become stronger together. Watch.
It's really about an individual journey that makes the whole thing better. So we both had to decide to go on that journey separately. Because it's not my half and your half that makes a whole. It's my wholeness and your wholeness that makes this whole thing happen. You know, it's like, of course you admire someone that usually has traits that, you know, that you want more of, right? Like I want to be more spiritual and more centered, and that's him, and he wants to be more organized and more, you know, organized. No, organized and maybe like good with thinking about big picture stuff. Those are like traits that we really aspire to kind of learn about each other. But it's really about your individual journeys.
For all the details on Katy Perry's journey to motherhood, life with Bloom, and the strength and hope behind her upcoming album, Smile, which comes out August 28th, be sure to check out the latest issue of People. It's available Friday. Serena Williams is opening up in this week's issue of People about her struggle with migraines, both on and off the court. Williams has dominated tennis matches through many things: shoulder inflammations, knee injuries, even pregnancy. However, many fans weren't aware that the tennis pro was struggling with frequent migraines, something she struggled with since her 20s. She tells People that it was hard for her to explain to her dad, who was her coach until 2012, why the sunlight during her daily practices was causing so much pain. She says this: "Migraine isn't a knee injury. It's something you can't physically see." She adds, "People are like, I don't see swelling, I don't see bruising. Tough it out." And I got used to playing through the pain, she said. And she not only played through the pain, she went on winning. However, in March, when Williams went into quarantine with her husband, Alexis Ohanian, and their 3-year-old daughter, Olympia, her migraines became a daily occurrence. She calls the coronavirus pandemic incredibly stressful and adds that she was dealing with a lot of stress and unknown factors. So Williams went to her doctor in search of relief and was prescribed Ubrelvy. It worked so well for her that she signed on to be a spokeswoman. And now with her migraines taken care of, Williams has her sights set on preparing for the upcoming US Open in New York City. Now, the Open will be played without fans due to the pandemic. Williams isn't sure how she will do, given that she's always played in front of big crowds, but she says she's looking at it like a new, wild experience. We'll be watching.
So how about a quick game of Guess That Nocturnal Animal?
Oh, you mean the one where the animals line up, lights go down, and Elmo and Cookie guess which nocturnal animal is making the sound? Yeah, me never heard of it.
Well, the season finale of The Not Too Late Show with Elmo premieres tomorrow, and Andrea sat down with the one and only Elmo himself. They chatted all about what it's been like hosting his own talk show at only 3.5 years old. It's a lot for a kid. Watch this.
Elmo, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you for having Elmo. Yeah, we're having a really good time today.
Look, I'm starstruck to talk to you. I interview a lot of people. Yes, you're Elmo. You're an icon.
You're making Elmo blush, not that you could tell.
I mean, okay, so Elmo, you're only 3.5 years old. How does it feel to be the host of a talk show? Is it stressful for you, or are you just having the time of your life?
No, it's not really stressful. It's a lot of fun, because everybody works together to make the show happen. Yeah, all of Elmo's friends are helping and directing and writing and producing, so Elmo can just relax and be the host and have a wonderful time. We're having a really good time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because you start off the episodes with a joke. So do you come up with those? Is it your team? How does it work?
Now, Elmo's got a very big team. It's one person. It's Abby Kadabi. She's the writer, and she's very funny. So Elmo lets her write the funny jokes.
You also have Cookie Monster, big part of your show. How do you decide between your friends from Sesame Street on who's going to be a good fit for the staff?
But you know, it kind of just happened. Elmo was working on his show, and Cookie Monster walked by and he said, "Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Hello, Elmo, me here, you want co-host?" And Elmo says, "Yes." Elmo's looking for a co-host, and Cookie Monster said, "Can we be co-host?" And Elmo said, "Sure." So that's how it happened.
Amazing. You two work really well together. So I think it's a great fit having him on the show. You get all these amazing guests. So who have been some of your favorite celebrities you've gotten to meet, and why?
We've had a lot of really great people. Some favorites. Mr. John Oliver came by. He was very funny. Lil Nas X came by. Jonathan Van Ness. Oh, and Batman. The real Batman. We're not talking like someone dressed as Batman in a mall. No, this was the real Batman. It was amazing.
That's incredible. So a lot of great guests you just listed. Also, my biggest girl crush of all time, Blake Lively. I love her so much. What was the takeaway getting to meet her? Did anything surprise you about Blake Lively?
Surprise, Elmo? Not really. She's just really wonderful. Yeah, we always have a great time with Miss Blake Lively. Yeah, she's a great dancer too. Oh, and we took a selfie. We took a really good selfie. She's just the best.
You know, as a host, you're always honing your craft. You're always working on things. I thought there was a really cool moment when Hoda Kotb was a guest on your show. She told you that she researches her guests. You were really funny about it, made a note that it's something you wanted to do in the future. So ever since that interview, have you been researching more for your interviews?
No, Elmo forgot until you just mentioned it. Oh, no. Elmo's got to get working on that. Elmo will get working on that for the next season.
Well, then how do you pull it off? You're so talented. You're only 3.5. I mean, people want to know how they become such a great host like you.
But Elmo asked a lot of his friends who came on the show, and Mr. Jimmy Fallon, Elmo and Mr. Jimmy Fallon go way back. So Elmo called Mr. Jimmy and said, "What should Elmo do to be a good host?" And he said, "Just listen to the guests and be interested and have fun." So that's the advice Elmo would give to someone who wants to be a talk show host.
Well, you're definitely having fun. What can you tease about the season finale and who's going to be on it? 'Cause we're very excited.
Oh, yeah, the finale's really cool. We had Mr. Jason Sudeikis, and he was really funny. Really good time with Jason. Oh, and Sierra sang a song, a beautiful song. So you'll see, it's a really good episode.
Okay, what about a duet? We're going to hear you singing with Sierra at all?
Maybe, but Elmo doesn't want to give any spoilers. You have to watch and see.
If there's a season 2 of The Not Too Late Show with Elmo, I want to know your dream guest. Who would you love to have on the show?
Good. And let's see. Elmo would like to have, you know what? We just worked with Amy Sedaris, and Elmo's a big fan, so Elmo would like to have her on. Maybe Adele, Paul McCartney, the Queen of England. The same people you see on all the other shows.
It's the Queen of England. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Lastly, you're used to interviewing guests now, but now you're on the flip side, you're being interviewed. I want to know, what's one question that you wish people would ask you?
Ooh. Boy, that's a really difficult question. Elmo doesn't know you stumped Elmo. You're a very good interviewer.
Did I just stump Elmo?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Woo! What are some of your hobbies? If you have an off day, what kind of things do you love to do?
Let's see. Well, Elmo likes to play with Big Bird. Elmo's learning how to play the piano, so Elmo practices the piano. Catch up on all the latest shows.
What's your favorite show?
Oh, let's see. Elmo's been watching The Not Too Late Show with Elmo.
There you go. Elmo, thank you.
That's what you call a shameless plug in the business.
The season finale of The Not Too Late Show with Elmo airs Thursday, August 6th on HBO Max, and all other episodes are streaming right now. All right, coming up tomorrow, Boris Kodjoe and his family are giving back in a big way. They're launching the Help Our Heroes initiative, and he's telling us more about that.
Plus, Christina Anstead is gearing up for season 3 of her HGTV show, Christina on the Coast. She's sharing what fans can expect and how co-parenting is going with her ex, Tarek El Moussa. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.